Call of Duty Black Ops 6 Zombies. Not that bad. So after officially playing the game, I have made my verdict on the game itself. This isn't going to be my normal type of video. This is just going to be me talking about the game and all that it offers to the players. I'm going to be basing these in categories such as gameplay, features, main Easter eggs, side quests, wonder weapons, boss zombies, pros and cons, and overall judgment of the game itself. So, strap in, get comfortable, because this is going to be a long one. Got everything you need? Good, because we're starting off with gameplay. The gameplay of Black Ops 6 Zombies has a remarkably similar style to earlier Call of Duty installments, and I can be quoted saying that it would be similar to Cold War due to it being the same build. But Black Ops 6 plays so much more different than Cold War. The Zombies mode has something for everybody. Whether you play multiplayer, Warzone, or just Zombies, there are gameplay items from each of these modes in Zombies, and I believe that this makes the game more inclusive for each community during this game's lifetime. Having loadouts, armor plating, and intense zombies. Not only that, but the very first time you play a match of zombies, you get only a weak pistol that does damage but not enough to carry you through the entire game like Cold War. Each map has a completely different feel from one another. If you want a more open-spaced area and a more means of escape, then Terminus is going to be the map for you. If you want more chaotic and close encounters maps, then Liberty Falls is going to be the map for you. Terminus is more spaced out. It's more open for the player. It almost reminds me of Outbreak but more contained. Terminus to me is a mixed combination of Mob of the Dead, Origins, Zetsubo no Shima with a hint of Shadows of Evil. A remote island in the Pacific, having a prison and a secret lab underneath. Having generators to power up the map, a dig sites, and a big bad that tries to stop you along the journey, and flying annoying pests that shoot pee at you. I don't know, they shoot at you. The map layout is executed perfectly. No area is too big nor too small. The area is spaced out enough to enthrall the player and make it seem like a perfect adventure, especially with the open waters and the islands around the map you can discover. Again, to reiterate, it's like Outbreak but more enclosed. The wonder weapon on this map, which we'll get into later, is a good balance on this map. Not only does it shred, but it can also stun if you need a break in the horde. I mean, as soon as you walk out of spawn, you will see a guard being mauled by a zombie. It doesn't get better than that. While on the opposite side of the spectrum, Liberty Falls is an enclosed, every turn is a small corner that you can easily get trapped in, with small open spaces like Liberty Lanes, rooftops where the Wonder Fizz is, and spawn. It plays similarly to Black Ops 3, getting more and more intense as the game goes on, and a balanced wonder weapon pool being the more powerful jet gun and the normal ray gun, and the HUD only adds more to this experience, being fully customizable and out of the way now, but more on that later. Overall, the gameplay experience is a top tier item we have not seen for a couple of games in the installments. A solid 8 out of 10 for gameplay, gold star. Which leads us into our very next topic, features. The features of the game only enhance the experience of said game. Before all else, there are returning features such as salvage, the crafting bench, the buildable wonder weapon, Wonder Fizz, the revamped Cold War perks and their respective perk machines, zombies dropping both lethal and tactical items of use, weapon rarity, but all those have been only upgraded since the rebrand of those items and zombies, alongside multiple new features in the zombies mode. The salvage is no longer in 2 rarities, there is only common salvage now. And with that, the zombies drop salvage more often. If I can kill an entire horde and get 400 salvage, it just works. Not only that, but there are numerous side quest Easter eggs that allow you to get more salvage, which only is more beneficial for the player because it takes a lot to fully upgrade your weapon rarity. And speaking of weapon rarity, instead of going to the Pack-a-Punch now, you go to a cool new arsenal machine, where there you can spend your salvage on AATs or weapon rarity. I think this is more convenient for the player than wasting time at the Pack-a-Punch machine, allowing the horde to rush you and potentially down you and lose perch. Each map has its own quest for Pack-a-Punch. Liberty Falls, all you do is open the church. Boom! Simple. But on Terminus, you have to charge all 3 generators, then dive into the water to raise the lift. But be careful in the water. If you're swimming or boating for too long, the giant squid will shoot toxic gas, which will kill you swiftly and sooner than you think. But back to the arsenal. The arsenal machine reminds me of an old school arcade game. The look of it just brings that inviting feeling that says, "Hey! Try me out, you won't regret it." And I love that feeling. Not only that, but when you upgrade your weapon, it actually makes it relatively better than what it was. Each rarity has more damage to it, both including the normal standard weapon, but the Pack-a-Punch variant as well. It packs more of a punch.
Oh.
Wink wink. It's like Black Ops 1 all over again. Once you Pack-a-Punch a gun, you don't know what you'll get. And I think that is enthralling for the player, because the more you upgrade your weapons, the more you realize that it is like classic Black Ops 1. As to reiterate, you do not know what you are going to get. You can get almost like Mustangs and Sally. You can get a less buffed scavenger. You can just get a rocket launcher that shreds through everything. It doesn't matter what you get, something will always catch your eye when you pack a punch. The workbench is a more useful of a tool now. They have upgraded the self-revive Bible. Now you only get 3, just like the classic quick revive. I would say that the only useless thing in the crafting bench is the RCXD. Why is it even in zombies? Like I don't get that. I get maybe for multiplayer people, but really? The perk system is realistically the same to the old perk system, except for there are new augments. Now you're probably asking yourself, Dragon, what are augments? And I'm glad you didn't ask. Augments are the new upgrade system for perks, classes, and fields upgrades. There's more playability with these. This is to me what Black Ops 4 perk system was supposed to be. If you don't like something, then you change it the next game and continue to experiment over and over until you find the augment system that works best for you as a player.
But like, what if I don't like the system and I just want standard perks? Like, what if I just don't?
Silence! Let Papa Dragon rock! If you are a die-hard classic zombies fan, you can play without the augments, and the perks will play it like their original counterparts, like PhD. You can flop around rather than PhD slider, and you can cause an explosion if you are a high enough elevation. You are allowed 2 bonuses for each perk. Granted, it does take time to be rewarded with them, but each augment has a major and a minor, both benefiting the player each time you try them on. Not only does it upgrade your perks, but it also upgrades your field upgrades, such as Ether Shroud, Energy Mine, and the one that revives the players. I don't really know what that one's called because I don't really use it, because why would I ever need that? I don't go down. But your weapon classes as well. Each augment benefits the player in its own special way, not making the zombies player invincible, but better suit for the battlefield. Unlike Cold War, you don't get the amazing power. You get something that benefits you that you have to work for. You have to level up and research the augments rather than getting Ethereum and buying your way to the top. And speaking of Ethereum, there is a way for you to get it in the game, through SAM trials. What's a SAM trial? It's the trial on both maps that spawns within 1 to 3 rounds. You only get 1 shot to get the gold rarity to get what you want. The rewards strain from wonder weapons, perks, guns, salvage, lethal items, support items, and much, much more. It's a simple yet effective item in the game which rewards the player either poorly or handsomely based off their performance. And the most important item that I wanted to talk about in this video is the new Gobblegum system. The new Gobblegum system is something I didn't think that I would like, but it is pushed in the player's favor. Every 5 to 7 rounds, you have a chance of getting a random Gobblegum, and you can get up to 3 per time you get gum. From personal experience, you can either get up to 20 gums per game if you try really hard enough, and each gum will randomly be rewarded that could either be in your gum pack or saved for later. Returning gums include Phoenix Up, Anywhere But Here, Cashback, Perkaholic, Killjoy, On the House, Who's Keeping Scores, Raindrops, and many, many more fan favorites, but including more new ones such as Wonder Bar, a gum that allows you to get a random wonder weapon, your spin on the box, and many more, such as Anywhere But There, which will take you to your teammate, which was initially involved in Black Ops 4 as an elixir, but now changed to a Gobblegum. And there are so many more gums that are more beneficial for the player, and I just cannot fathom how we got Gobblegum back, but in a much better way. All in all, I believe it is a better system in my opinion. Rather than getting something and gambling it away to get the same 3 Gobblegum, you have a better chance of getting a change of pace in the game when you have things like this. Although, I am gonna miss gambling and losing and winning. Come back to me. Although the one thing I am not a fan of in the Gobblegum system now is being able to buy them. Don't get me wrong, it's an easy way to obtain gum, but where's the fun in the progression in that? Now, I understand that there is a need for money when it comes to Treyarch, but having to buy these Gobblegums is definitely not the way that I think we should go. I think that the gambling addiction or Newton's Cookbook or something along those lines is something that we need to see return in order for these gums to be put to use. Because if I can get 20 Killjoys and not have anything to do with them, I need to get rid of them. Another returning feature is the Wonder Fizz machine. It spawns in on what I believe is only Liberty Falls, because for the life of me, I can't find it on Terminus, even if there is one on Terminus. After round 25, you will be able to obtain Deadshot and Elemental Pop from the machine. While every perk has its respective machine on Terminus, Liberty Falls only has Stamina Up, Speed Cola, Quick Revive, Jug, Melee Macchiato, and PhD. Being able to obtain not only those, but Deadshot and Elemental Pop is very useful for the machine, and it feels like it has a use rather than a decorative item. Death animations is something else that is brand new to COD Zombies. What death animations are is pretty much after you die, the respective thing that have killed you will get its own little special animation. It could be a mangler, it could be boss zombies, it could be zombies itself, it could be parasites, it could be spiders, it could be quite literally anything. And I think that it is just neat to see within zombies. Melee Macchiato is the brand new perk in zombies. What it does is essentially it does what a Bowie knife normally would have done. It makes your melee to become more powerful and more useful in zombies. Although I do not personally like Melee Macchiato because there was no use for it, other people do, and I do think that is definitely a fun inclusion because we're getting both new gums but new perks at the same time. And I'm just hoping it's not going to end up like Black Ops 3 where we only got Widow's Wine and a lot of new gobblegums. The vermin rounds on both maps are very interesting to me. Regardless of what map you are, you have to shoot high and low, which reminds me of the Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2 days with the monkeys, the Nova 6 crawlers, hellhounds, and much more. Having to shoot high and low, and if not, there are consequences, like downing. Like I have 7 times. You have both spiders and an all-time returning fan favorite from Shadows of Evil and Revelations, parasites. Why are they here? Genetics, that's how, I don't know, shut up. They add another reason to be self-aware within the map. If not, there are again dire consequences. Spiders being the main vermin on Liberty Falls and parasites having Terminus locked down. Power-ups also make their return, but with the lack of barriers, there is no Carpenter. However, being replaced with 2 power-ups, 1 returning and 1 new. Before those, we have our classics, a nuke, max ammo, insta-kill, and double points. But a returning being full power, charging up your wand instantly, and the new power-up known as full armor. Replenishing your armor regardless of what tier it is, which is a plus. Sometimes you don't have room to replenish your armor, making this more beneficial than it is a burden to collect. The Manglers now drop their hand cannon. After you shoot their arm enough, you are rewarded with the hand cannon, with 3 charged shots, which are just meh. Useful in certain circumstances, but you can also become the Mangler now, with the mutant injection. Once in use, you get what I believe is 1 minute to demolish zombies in sight, being able to use a sickle and the hand cannon all in one. This item is featured on both Liberty Falls and Terminus. Now, moving on to what will be our shortest section, Easter eggs. There are 2 main Easter eggs, one for each respective map. The Easter egg for Liberty Falls goes as the following. Director of Project Janus, wait for it, Dr. Edward Richtofen, has a nightmare about his wife and child, only to awake to find an outbreak zone has occurred. Trying to stop it, Samantha kidnaps Richtofen, and it is up to you to stop the outbreak zone. You and your crew, or just you, are exploring the outbreak zone when Blanchard mistakes you for the strike team sent to find Dr. Panos. Exploring the newly outbroken zone, you find a small motel room, which resident zombies come charging out of. Inside the room, you'll find, wait for it, the Thrustodon Aeronomics Model 23. God! Once you obtain said wonder weapon, you run to the church and find Dr. Panos in an ethereal state. Being trapped in the dark ether, he instructs you to help finish his machine to convert energy to help create a gateway to get him out. Once finding the parts in the church and in Ollie's comics and one in the center of the town in a house, you craft a device and bring a heavy dark ether entity to Liberty Falls. Once eliminated, you bring it back to the church and put it into the machine. You then calibrate devices around the map, which will summon one more heavy entity. Once completed, you activate the machine, which attracts not only the horde that's been chasing you the entire game, manglers, parasites, and heavy zombies. Wave 1 consists of 1 heavy mangler. Shocking. Once taken out, you have to complete a cell box. Wave 2 will begin, which will bring 4 manglers and possibly an abomination. Again, rinse and repeat. Wave 3 is the heaviest hitting, 2 manglers and 2 abominations. Once completed, the device is fully charged. Unknowingly, it was a trap. Knocking down the strike team, Dr. Panos cuts communication with Blanchard and swaps place with you. The cutscene looks like this.
You cannot kill the dead!
I'm just kidding.
Alpha team, how copy?
Ether.
Somebody
Let's
tell me what just
fucking
happened. Any station this net, what is your status? Panos, if you hurt them, I swear I'll...
No interruptions for this next part.
The ending's shitty because he fucked you.
Thank you, my friends, for volunteering to take my place here. Or, in your parlance, thank you for being voluntold. Now, if you will excuse me, I have a few scores to settle. Bye-bye, Dark Ether.
I don't know, man. Whatever.
Following suit, the Terminus Easter eggs is more complex. In the opening scene, the 5 Requiem agents, Strauss, Carver, Weaver, Gray, and Raptor 1 are found in a cell. Weaver staring intently in the name engraved on the wall, Richthofen. Suddenly, the guard gets his throat slit. He's f***ing dead. Out steps a familiar face with a new face, Dr. Peck and Maya, who's here to rescue her brother Nathan. The crew hears a horde outside and has to gear up as soon as possible. Once the map starts, you turn on 3 generators, 1 at spawn, 1 in a housing unit, and 1 inside the lab. Once power is activated, you must obtain the beam smasher, regardless if you build it or not. More on that later. Or if you obtain it from the box. You shoot a beam into the trap that has damage to it. Once you do that, you get a USB or whatever it is. With this, Peck is able to unlock the center cell in the lab, which reveals Nathan, battered and bloodied, begging you for help. To unlock his cell, you need a 3-digit code. The code is found in increments, the first number being on a clock in a room with quick revive, the second being a playing card in the kitchen, and the third being a number on a sign. Once obtaining all numbers, you unlock Nathan's cell, finding out he has become a flesh-hungry monster. You and your team put up a fight and kill Nathan after that, Maya putting the final blow into his head.
I've got this.
Wait! He's my little brother. My responsibility. This is on me.
Do it.
Maya, I'm so sorry.
Save it, Peck. I don't need sorry right now. I need to get even. Whatever else we do, we're gonna kill everyone responsible for what they did to Nathan. Got it? Especially that syndicate trash Franco. Sold him to Modi for his sick experiments.
I am many things, but sick is not one of them.
What the hell?
Oh, I've been watching your progress from myself. Frankly, I'm amazed you're still alive. But let's face it, you are never getting off that island.
You are fucking dead, Modi! I don't care how far you run, you'll pay for what you did to Nathan!
And for everything you put us through these past 6 years!
And you're giving back my goddamn warheads!
I don't think so, Dr. Peck. I'm just counting the minutes till you're all torn apart.
We are gonna get her. Right?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
After all is said and done, Peck gives you a hacker, and you must man the open sea and hack 3 buoys floating around out in the water. Dr. Modi, who has stolen Peck's warheads that were sent to the ocean at the end of Cold War, reveals herself and sets off 3 bombs in the lab. You and your team must defuse all 3 in 3 minutes or less. Once defused, your crew steps outside to find Modi rising in the sub, only to be attacked by a giant squid monster, and the boss fight ensues, which, in my opinion, is chaotic and looks a little something like this.
Took me to an island.
Boss has 3 stages, one being just attacking the glowing areas, the second wave being glowing yellow orbs on its arm, and the third being a charge attack. When this happens, you either have to dive into the water or hide, or you will be down instantly. Me personally, I have fallen for this many times, and the first time I was in the boss fight, I downed trying to dive into the water. Once defeating the monster, it explodes, starting the ending cutscene, which looks like this.
Okay, Sam. Whatever your plan is for bringing back Maxis, it better be good.
It is. I have scraped all Project Janus files classified Director's Eyes only. Richtofen is obsessed with an ancient relic called the Sentinel Artifact. He believes it has the ability to manipulate a form of protomatter called prima materia.
You can't be serious. That term comes straight from medieval alchemy. Don't ask me to believe such horseshit. I am a man of science.
As is Director Richtofen, Dr. Strauss. The artifact is believed to be somewhere in the Principality of Avalon. He hired a criminal organization, the French Syndicate, to find it. They are interrogating a man called Gabriel Kraft. Your former associate, Sergei Ravenov, now employed by the Syndicate, abducted him on the orders of his boss, Franco.
I'm in.
Enjoy your revenge, young lady. I'm not chasing after an old wives' tale.
Oscar, we've all seen things that seemed impossible. And Richtofen is no fool. If he and Sam believe that this artifact can actually bring her back, we have to try. We can't give up on her. She never gave up on us.
She's right. Let's see for ourselves if this Sentinel thing is the real deal.
Agreed. But I still want to know where that bastard Richtofen is hiding.
Unknown. He may be en route to Avalon to collect the artifact.
Then let's find it before he does.
Heads up, people. Helo's ready. But the storm's getting worse. We gotta go, now!
That's right, Chaos is back! The end goal of this cutscene reveals that Richtofen is looking for the Sentinel artifact. Remember that from Black Ops 4? Good. Now keep that in mind. To secure something. But what? Time travel. That's what. It's speculated that Richtofen is trying to bring back his wife and son. But only time will tell. Following the term Easter egg, there are many mini Easter eggs known as side quests. There are many side quests in both map, both indulging and quick way to make salvage or money. But here is all of them on a list. Flying bodies. If you blow up a head on the church in Liberty Falls, zombies will fall from the sky, dropping essence, loot, tactical items, and lethal. Guns and perks, which will benefit the player more and more if you get so lucky. You can also get as lucky as to get a Dark Ether Wrench, will successfully upgrade your gun, not Pack-a-Punch but rarity level. Free Deadshot. Outside the map of Liberty Falls, there are 5 cans. If you shoot all 5 successfully, you are awarded a free Deadshot daiquiri. Simple. Vending machine. In Liberty Falls, there is a vending machine, and you can melee it once a round for, again, random items. The luckiest item I have received is a ray gun, and you can get many more items like I had stated previously. Bowling. In Liberty Falls, you can shoot 3 pairs of bowling shoes. You get a bowling Easter egg. You can actually bowl and be rewarded with weapons, essence, 10 points per zombie you hit. Aetherella. Around the map of Liberty Falls, there are Aetherella statues that you need to suck up with the gen gun. Once you do, you will become Aetherella for 2 minutes, which is really useful in the boss fight as it shreds through the final bosses, making that a lot more easier for the player. All the power-ups. There are power-ups around the map that once you shoot, it will spawn in one of those power-ups that were shot. Tombstone. In the graveyard, there are tombstones you can dig. To dig them, you need to obtain a shovel. You will find it in the barrel next to a zip line to the rooftop. You can dig all the graves. You can get zombies, spiders, perks, weapons, explosives, salvage, essence, and much more. This truly reminds me of Origins with the shovel and the dig sites. How you can get these random items that you don't know what you're going to get, and what you do get might be beneficial or it might hurt you as the player. And now for Terminus. There are just as many mini Easter eggs in this map as well. The mini chests. Under the water, in many areas, you will find a glowing yellow box. If you open them, you can get salvage, guns, Ethereum to upgrade your guns, essence, and much more. Speedboat. If you find a little boat underwater, you can begin a toy boat race, gaining both plenty of essence but also a free perk if you are so lucky. Crab Island. Activating this, you get to play whack-a-mole with crabs, rewarding you essence, salvage, guns, and much more. Dig sites. This one is more simple. You will find a shovel outside of the tunnels to the labs. Once you pick it up, every 1 or 2 rounds, a new dig site will spawn and you will be able to dig it for salvage, spiders, zombies, lethals, tacticals, perks, essence, and more. And yet again, power-ups. This is all the ones I'm aware of. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments, please. The next section is straightforward, as there are only 3 of them for right now. Wonder weapons. Like I stated, there are only 3, and we are going to start off with the classic, the ray gun. The ray gun makes its glorious return. After falling off in Black Ops 4, reviving itself in Cold War, and falling off again, it is back. Like Shady, back again. It is more powerful than ever. Upgraded, it becomes the Porter's X2 ray gun. Classic. The base version holds 20 in the clip and 80 in the reserve. Pack-a-Punch, it holds 40 and 60 in the reserve. It is just as powerful as what it was in the World at War days. Splash damage is combated using PhD Flopper, and this dynamic duo is back in the history of COD. The next wonder weapon that we're going to be talking about is the Jet Gun, or if you want to use its government name, the Thruster-Dyn Aeronautics Model 23. This has become a better version of its Black Ops 2 iteration. Not only is its cooldown faster, but it doesn't break after you use it twice! The Pack-a-Punch model to me has no difference, it's just a shiny new camo. But not only that, it has a new feature. If you hold down left trigger or whatever you use, a mass explosion will ensue and take everything with it, depending on the round that you are on. This is probably now one of my most favorite wonder weapons. After flopping hard in Black Ops 2, it's back and better than ever. It actually has use now. It is used for the Easter egg. It has just become more out of an amazing wonder weapon. I feel like all bad wonder weapons need a revamp that it has gotten, because if we revamp these bad wonder weapons that we have gotten through the years, then maybe, just maybe, they can get a better reputation than what they've originally gotten. And the wonder weapon on Terminus is the Beam Smasher. Now, this weapon reminds me of the ray gun in Alpha Omega. You know, the one that just has a yellow laser beam that recharges? Yeah, that one. You can either craft it by using the fetch quest in the game, or you can get it from the box. Regardless of how you get it, it shreds. Not only that, but it has a stunning feature. Badum-cha. If you left trigger, you can stun the zombies for a few seconds to get a break in a horde and get some breathing room. Once Pack-a-Punched, it has a red laser, becoming more powerful than what it originally was, shredding through the spiders, zombies, manglers, parasites, and the amalgamations. It is what this map needs. It does the damage that your weapons won't on higher rounds, and thus creating an original wonder weapon that actually does its job. And speaking of manglers and such, our next section is boss zombies. The boss zombies are few and far between, only having 3 major and 2 minor. The 3 major being, wait for it, the manglers.
Oh my god, why?
The abominations.
Oh god!
And the amalgamation. Alright, he's pretty cool. And the minor being parasites and spiders. The manglers make their return for the millionth time. By God, they've just become hellhounds of present-day zombies, haven't they? They spawn in batches, and it could be 1, and it could be 20, or it could be far between for what kind of manglers you are going to get. They create a suffocating environment, and they are on both of the maps. Love it. Our next boss zombie being the returning abomination, the Margwa of Cold War and Black Ops 6. It is just as tanky as it ever was. It has 3 attacks. A charge attack, where it charges at the player, stunning them. The beam attack, where it shoots lasers out of its mouth, and again, stunning the player. And biting. If gotten too close, the abomination will bite your butt cheeks off. Again, this comes in batches. Who knows why? It can spawn in as 1 or 4. I've seen 3 at a time, and that is just suffocating to me, but I love it. Anyway, the amalgamation. This reminds me of a mimic that had a baby with a thrasher. This has 2 attacks, one being grabbing and biting you, and swiping. The way to get rid of him is either to put everything you've got into him, because he is a sponge and he will take everything, or shoot all 3 of its head off as quickly as you can. It's as simple as that. The minor boss zombies aren't anything too special. They are their original counterparts from both COD Black Ops 3. One being from Zetsubo no Shima being the spiders, except for this time they can crawl on walls and they can jump at you. And the parasites who do exactly what they did originally in Black Ops 3. They shoot pee at you, and honestly, they have nothing really special to add to them. I'm just curious on why they decided to bring them back. Pros and cons of the game. Overall, there is so much good to talk about this game, and I have throughout this entire video. But now we have to get into the bad. And I hate to be this guy, but there are a handful of bad things, but it is outnumbered by the good. One of the things I have to say is, Treyarch, why does the ray gun sound different? Like, seriously, it has sounded the same for decades, but now all of a sudden we need to change it? That should be one thing that is a constant. The ray gun, like, why do we need to change its sound? Why do we need to make sure that everything, oh, it just needs to sound perfect? No, it doesn't. It's the ray gun. It should sound how the ray gun sounds. Another thing I have to complain about is the sheer amount of boss zombies that can spawn on the map. I've seen clips online of the boss zombies spawning in absurd amounts, like 20 manglers and 10 abominations. Why? I understand that there's a need for balance in the game between easy zombies and overpowered items, but maybe, just maybe, I can do without getting shot at by 30 manglers at once. Whenever I see more than one, I just... player. It is and I don't ever want to see that again. Continuing with the sound complaints, not only does Quick Revive not have a sound, but Pack-a-Punch is also missing sounds. It's just a bunch of beeps and boops. It's as though all the life has been sucked out of the machines. Even in the gameplay trailer, it had the classic Quick Revive sound. And how is it that the Arsenal machine has more characteristics than a Pack-a-Punch? I mean, I guess it's because it's a new item, but not even a static Pack-a-Punch song? What's going on? Is everything going to lose its classic touch? And that worries me a lot. Another complaint I have is the fact of the crafting bench. As I stated, the RCXD is useless, but I feel as though the items need more zombie aesthetic to it, rather than just normal multiplayer feelings. Maybe add an ether touches to it, like something to have feeling to it. I have no idea. The last thing I have to complain about is this.
Give the Brutus operator more voice lines. Jesus, I'm tired of hearing this better be the real deal whenever I open the godforsaken box.
Overall judgment of the game. Overall, I will say that this game is a good classic zombies game. With some minor tweaks, this game's life cycle could be perfect. A solid 8 out of 10 game. Here, gold star. I just want to thank you for sitting with me throughout this entire time. I know this was a long video, and I know this isn't something that you guys are used to, but thank you guys so much for all the support that you guys show the channel and pretty much everything I do. You guys are awesome. You should feel awesome. Shout out to I'm Not Alice on YouTube and TikTok. Thank you, Allie, for helping me with the thumbnail. This was amazing. I want to say thank you so much for just being supportive with me throughout this entire channel and everything that you ever do for the channel. You are awesome, and you should feel awesome. And by the time that I recorded this video, someone's birthday has come and passed, and I'm so very sorry that I couldn't get this video out on your birthday. But happy birthday to Burning Sage on YouTube and I believe TikTok. I'm not entirely sure. You are awesome. You should feel awesome. Much love. I hope you get everything that you ever wanted. I'm Dragon, and I'll see y'all later.